I'm turning the camera on, Sheriff.
Okay.
This
Hey,
is Sheriff Peter.
hi Zach. I know Zach's
How are you?
cousin, is it?
Uncle.
Uncle. Do you go visit him?
I do. I was supposed to go this morning, but I'm here.
Christ, you look like him too. How's he doing?
He's doing well.
Tell him I asked about him.
I
It was a
will.
mess, that whole thing.
I know.
You know me, you met Brian before, right?
Yeah.
Investigator Novak, Sergeant. Look, there's all kinds of rumors and stuff going on.
I'm aware.
You know what's going on, and so we're trying to close out this whole thing, okay? So I want to ask you a couple questions first, and then by law I got to read your rights and all that you see on TV, okay?
Yep.
And explain it to you. How old are you, Zach?
I'm 21.
Okay, what's your date of birth?
2/21/97.
2197. Let me just shut this down. I'm sorry. I got so much stuff going on. 22197. What's your current address?
358 Steel Avenue Extension.
Who do you live there with?
My grandmother and my grandfather.
Who's that?
Inza, I-N-Z-A, and Paul. Paul.
Inza Paul?
Oh, Inza O'Connor.
Oh, okay, O'Connor. So which grandma's that then?
That is my mother's mom,
Who's your mom again?
Kim Ryle.
Oh, I know Kim. Who's your dad?
Freddie Burksville.
Okay, I know Freddie, yeah.
Yeah.
Do you have anything to do with Freddie?
Somewhat, yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
What's your middle initials at?
M.
All right. Do you practice religion?
No.
What's the highest grade you complete in school?
12th grade.
Okay. Where'd you grade?
Glover.
You read and write English?
Yeah.
Did you play sports in high school?
No.
Okay. Did you go to college at all?
I went, and I dropped out.
Okay.
But I didn't go for very long.
What are you now, a CNA?
Yes.
Okay, tell me about that. Is that like, are you licensed, or?
Yes.
Okay, what did you have to do to get licensed as a CNA?
Take a 5-week class. I did it through Capstone Nursing Home, and I took a 5-week class and got certified.
Okay, where have you worked? As a CNA?
I worked at Capstone, Palatine Nursing Home, and I work at River Ridge now.
Okay. Listen, you watch TV, and I have to advise you of this, okay? And you know the circumstance of what we're looking at, and I want to talk to you about some of the rumors first, and then go over the stuff. So, when I'm done, I'm going to have you initial each one, but I'm going to read it to you, and then I'm going to have you read out loud to us. You have the right to remain silent. Do you understand that?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You got to say yes or no.
Yeah.
Okay. Can you initial that if you understand it? Just right next to it, just your initials. Read the second one out loud to us.
Anything you say can and will be used against you in a court of law.
You understand that?
Yes.
Okay.
If you desire, you have the right to the presence of an attorney.
Do you understand that?
Yes.
If you can't afford one, we'll appoint one free for you.
Okay.
Read the next one.
You can decide at any time to exercise these rights and not answer any questions or make any statements.
Okay. And the last one is, this is actually, and you understand, no cost you will appoint it, right?
Yes.
Okay, so I need you to sign and put your address. If you do you understand everything?
Yes.
Do you have any questions of us?
No.
Are you on any drugs or medication or alcohol in the last 12 hours that would affect your ability to understand?
No.
Okay. You know, that morning I didn't even realize who you were.
Yeah.
You didn't tell me. Okay. But let's start now. There's all kinds of, Brian, you want to witness it for this one? No witnesses. There's all kinds of rumors out there.
There are.
Okay? And and you know where some of them are coming from, and you know where some aren't. So what are the why do you think
Well-
we're asking you here today?
Well, I believe because of Mark, because he's been contacting me, telling me he's gonna come to the sheriff's department, say whatever, and he's been leaving me messages, voicemails, because I don't speak to him anymore.
Okay.
And I just blew it off like, okay, yeah, whatever, and I didn't say anything to him or anything. And then I was called here today.
Okay.
So that's
When did you break up with him last time?
This is just a couple of days ago.
Okay, so let's go back. How do you know Pacifica Rim or Justin? How do
Well,
you know Justin?
We were just really close friends, and we met at like her drag shows and stuff, and then
Okay.
it started, I was giving her rides to the shows and stuff like that, and then we just became friends. We were friends for 3 years.
Okay, and, you said back then, and his mom told us that you guys used to just ride around for hours some
Mhm.
days.
That's
How
what we
often, how come you didn't go to this is what's confusing.
Well, we did a lot of things, but a lot of like,
I don't mean clubbing, so if you were in a club, did you ever just go to your house or his house? Okay.
all the time, yep.
Okay, and then so you start out as friends because of the clubs, and then when
Right.
you knew he was local, you gave him rides?
Right, yeah.
Okay, so how close of friends were you?
Like very close friends.
Like
best
everyday text
Yes,
friends?
yeah.
Okay. One of the rumors, was that, like an overdose or something.
Right.
Okay.
Well, that's what they said when I was there.
The coroner said
Yes.
that there were signs of the overdose.
Mhm.
Okay. And do you want to look at the statement you gave us that day?
No,
Do you remember
I
it?
remember, yeah.
Okay. And how long you known Mark?
Well, I've known him for a while. I don't know exactly how long. I've always known him,
Mhm.
but we weren't close or friends or whatever until like maybe a year or two ago, I guess, yeah.
All right. All right. Let's go back and tell me, how did you guys start with the day of or the day before you picked him up? Now, first of all, there was some confusion that day.
Right.
So tell me if I'm right. You found him Thursday morning, remember that?
Yeah.
On September 6th.
Yeah.
So the night that you went out, that morning, it was confusing because somebody said, oh, you guys went out Monday night and the Tuesday morning you was
No.
there for 2 days.
No.
No, okay.
We had hung out,
Tuesday, so when did you hang out?
we hung out, it was Tuesday night.
Okay. Did you see him on the weekend before?
No, I haven't, prior to that night, I didn't see him for a couple of weeks.
Why?
But we just weren't hanging out, like, we talked and stuff, but we didn't hang out or do anything for like a couple of weeks before that night. That night was my night off, so I was like, oh, we can hang out, and that's what we did.
Did he text you or call you? How did you?
Probably both, I don't know.
Okay, so or whose idea was it that night, do you remember?
Like both of ours, I guess.
Okay.
I mean, we're like, okay, I'm gonna come pick you up, like,
Right. So, did you go pick him up?
Yes.
Where'd you guys pick him
Well,
up?
Mark was there, he drove his car. I was
Okay.
in the car, yes,
Why was Mark driving and not you?
because it was his car.
Okay. All right, so you and Mark, what time do you think you picked him up?
I wanna say it was around 8 o'clock-ish, maybe 7 or 8.
Okay. And you picked him up where, was his grandma's house?
Yeah.
Okay. Then what'd you do?
Well, he wanted to go to the liquor store, so that's what we did that.
Okay.
And then
Which liquor store?
the one in Broad Albin. I don't know where
Near
it's
Dunkin'
called.
Donuts?
Yes.
Okay. And that was right, so you left his house and went right there?
Mhm.
Okay, then what happened? What did he get? Or
He
did you
got-
go in, or did he?
He went in and he got a box of wine and a bottle of vodka.
Okay. And then what'd you guys do?
Well, we just rode around in the car, really.
Did you?
We would go around like the lake and stuff in Northville, and like Mark was driving, and we were just.
You guys must have tons of money for gas. You're driving around endlessly. How much? Who was drinking and what did they drink?
Well, I know he was definitely drinking.
The wine or the vodka?
The wine.
Okay. Why did you buy the vodka then?
It was for him to bring home.
Okay. Then did you have some wine too?
Yes.
How much?
I don't know, not much, because I was fine.
Did you drink it out of a coffee cup, or did you drink it out of a mug, or how did you drink it?
In a Dunkin' Donuts cup.
Okay.
Do you know how many cups you had?
No, maybe 1 or 2.
Okay. All right. Then, how long did you guys drive around?
We were out for a while.
Do you guys call people, or do you just talk to each other? Shoot the crap?
Yeah,
Or
we
do you
just
guys-
ride around, listen to music, talk,
Okay.
and whatever.
All right. Where did you go when where was the, did you make it? You guys told us that you stopped at Stewart's or something.
We did, yes.
Okay, which Stewart's did you stop at?
I believe it was the one in Johnstown.
Okay.
I don't remember exactly which one.
Are you talking about the one on 38, or are you talking about the one around
I don't
Connors
remember,
in the city?
but I don't remember what Stewart's it was.
Okay, what
But
happened then?
We stopped at Stewart's because he wanted to go inside. Justin did.
Okay,
And he's the only one that went inside the store.
why do you want to go inside?
I don't know. He just wanted to stop at the store.
Okay,
So he went inside there, and then he was on the phone with somebody when he got out of the car, and while he was in the store. And then when he got back in the car, he seemed like very agitated, like
Mhm.
upset. And I was like, "What's wrong? Like, what happened?" And he wouldn't say like who he was talking to or what was going on, but he was like very mad at that point. And so I was like, "What's going on?" Like, and we were just riding around, and then as we're talking, kind of, he was like, he just like stopped talking, like
Mhm.
wasn't responding, and I'm like, hello, like, and he had just like was sitting there and just like passed out kind of, but I just thought it was because he drank too much or whatever, because then when I went to go look at the wine box, it was like near empty, and I certainly did not drink.
Was
that.
he passed out, or was he just...
Yeah, I mean, that's what I thought. I mean, but he was making sounds and stuff. I was like, what do you, and then,
Like what
but
kind
like,
of sounds?
but, like, not like talking, but like, I was like, wake
Gurgling
up.
sounds?
Well, no, but I was like, wake up, and he was like doing stuff like that, like, wasn't respond, like, you know what I mean? Like, and so,
How much of the wine was gone at this point?
a good amount of it, because I went to pick up the box, and I was like, oh, and then like, usually, he would drink to the point that would happen to him, like, he
Yeah.
would, like, pass out in the car all the time, or fall asleep, or whatever, and then I would be like, okay, it's
So it
time.
wasn't unusual for him to drink a
No,
lot?
not at all.
What did he drink all the time?
Wine and vodka.
Okay. Did he
So-
mix his wine and vodka?
No, he would just drink one.
Either-
Like he would drink the wine. And we were like out doing whatever. The vodka he brought home. That was for his house to have
Okay.
that for whenever. And so I told Mark, I was like, oh, I think you passed out, whatever, time to take you home, because that's like that would be the normal thing. Like,
Do you recall what time that was you were at Stewart's?
oh God, no, I don't remember what time we were at Stewart's. We dropped him off home. I want to say it was around midnight-ish.
Okay.
Around that time. I don't know what time we were at the Stewart's, no.
Did you go anywhere else after Stewart's?
No. We continued to drive around until like he was like falling asleep, passing out, whatever, and I told Mark, oh, we gotta, bring you home. And that's what we would do that was like, not like an everyday thing, but sometimes he would drink to that point where he'd be like falling asleep in the back seat or passing out or whatever. So then we just take you home at that point.
So when you took him home,
Yes.
what happened? Was he passed out in the back seat?
He was asleep in the back seat, and
Was he blue? Was he turning blue or responsive? or
No, not that I noticed. No, I remember I kept telling him, "Come on, get up, we're home," and he was like, not like. I mean, I thought it was unusual for him not to like respond at all. Like, even drunk, like he would, wake up and be able to talk and
Let
do.
me ask you this: did you have to? I thought you told us that day that you both kind of carried, like
We did.
half carried them,
Yep,
both of you.
we did.
And was he just mumbling or saying anything, or didn't he even know? Oh, it was one of those deals where he's just walking
Yeah,
with you.
we got out of the car, and I was like, okay, come on, I'm going to help you, and I carried the stuff, I carried like a purse and the phone, things like that, so I carried the stuff, and me and Mark, like, helped him out of the car. We walked inside the house, and helped him get to his
Was
bed.
he able to walk
Yeah.
on his own?
Yeah, he was, I mean, he wasn't, like, walking normally. Like, he seemed very...
Well, I thought that
Something
morning,
was off.
tell me if I'm wrong or right, I don't remember.
Mhm.
I thought that morning, you said something about, like, you had almost, like, he was like, you had your arm around him, he's
Right,
like hanging
yeah.
on you, and he was like, you're like, he couldn't have got up the stairs if you weren't helping him.
Probably not, no.
How heavy are
Me-
you? How big are you?
Well, now I'm like 160. At that time, I don't.
You were
probably-
heavier, were you heavier or lighter? than
I was a little heavier, probably around that time, yeah.
Would you be able to carry him in the house yourself?
Oh my God, no, probably not, because he weighed more than I did.
Okay. All right, so then what
And
did
he's,
you do
like,
when you got him in the
Bigger
house?
than me. We just helped him to his bed, and then put
In the
him-
room on the side?
Right, yeah, and
Okay.
then he got in bed, and I had his stuff, and I left it there, and I said, okay, see you tomorrow, whatever, and then me and Mark left.
What was he wearing when you left him?
Oh my God.
Because you found him the next day.
Oh, right.
So what was he, was he wearing the same stuff, or don't you know? Or don't you remember?
I don't remember what he was wearing.
Do you, maybe me and you can go get it. You want to get his original statement so he can read it? Yeah, let's go get his original.
Well, you can stay here,
All right.
I'll just...
Everybody starts texting. Everybody's got everything's an emergency. Wait 1 second. Let me just text this. You're free. Thank you. Sorry, I just got to get this. If I don't do this,
That's right.
yeah, take a minute and read that. Did you remember, look at the end of your sign, do you remember the deputy telling you that anything you say herein has to be correct and you're making false statements and a misdemeanor? You remember
Right.
telling you that? Okay. So, now, so you put him in bed and then what, you leave.
Mhm.
Okay, so when do you start texting or calling him again?
The next day,
Both of you, as far as you know, Mark did too, right?
I don't know if he did or not.
Okay,
What time during the next day do you think?
I don't know. Probably whenever I woke up, I always met, like, we talked, like a daily, we talked all the time. So I woke up.
And that's still Wednesday, correct?
That was Wednesday, yeah. So I probably texted, didn't get an answer. I was like, oh, he's probably hungover. Because, like, he would sleep sometimes the whole day from being out or drunk or whatever. So I was like, oh, you know.
So that wasn't unusual for you?
No. And when I started to think something was, like, wrong, because I was calling him, too, and he wasn't answering the phone. And I was like, oh, maybe like, I didn't know, like, if he was not, his phone wasn't plugged in, whatever. And then it got to be a bit later in the day, and I called, and it was going right to voicemail.
Did you work, now let's see, so you leave Tuesday night to go on your drive around.
Mm-hmm.
You bring him back early Wednesday morning,
Yep.
12 to 1. You go home. What time did you work? Did you work Wednesday or Wednesday night?
I worked Wednesday night.
Okay, so what time do you work usually?
I worked 10 to 6.
Now, you said something about him gurgling and stuff. As a CNA, were you taught CPR?
Yes.
Have you done CPR on people?
No.
Have you been there when somebody's expired or passed away?
Yes.
Okay, how many times?
Oh, well, I don't know exactly how many times, but more than once.
And they don't have you do CPR or?
Well, CNAs aren't required to do CPR, only nurses are.
Okay.
But I do have a CPR certification, so I can do
Okay.
it, but I've never had to do it, no.
Okay.
I've never been there while that's happening.
Okay, but you've seen people pass away at
And I,
nursing homes.
yeah.
Do you do the defibrillator? Are you trained on it, the AED?
No. I know how to use one because I worked at Lexington
Okay.
and you're trained on it there. But no, we don't use that there, no.
Okay. You were there when the coroner came and said she thought that it looked like a drug overdose.
Mm-hmm.
Remember?
Yes.
Okay. In your statement, you said nothing about drugs there.
No.
Okay. You said that that was a true statement.
Yes.
One of the rumors flying around was drugs.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the problems is that we tried tracking down the rumor. I don't know, do you know that there's cameras all over the county? Did anyone tell you that?
I'm sure there is.
There's tons of cameras.
Right.
Floresville's got a ton of them, we have a ton of
Mm-hmm.
them, Amsterdam has a ton of them. We have Mark's car on a camera in Amsterdam that night, okay? So, what we think, and what we've developed, and what we believe is that you guys went from Stewart's to Amsterdam, and then went home. So, do you understand that if you, right under this, do you know the hold harmless, are you familiar with the harmless law? Like if you think somebody's having an overdose and you call,
Yes,
you
I
got
am.
You're aware of that, right?
I am.
Do you know that if, under this circumstance, look, first of all, we think that parts of your statement are false, okay? Do you, and that's a misdemeanor. Do you understand that we're trying to find out what really happened, so
I do.
we know? And
I
the
do.
autopsy came back, and the blood results show that it was alcohol and
Right.
show the presence of the derivative from heroin, okay? So now I'm asking you to be honest with us and tell us what really happened, because we know you guys had a car down.
Like I said, when they asked me if he was doing drugs, did drugs, whatever, I don't know.
And why did you guys go to Amsterdam?
We were
Why are
riding
you guys
around
in the car in Amsterdam right now?
everywhere. We always went all over the place.
Let me ask you this, have you done, look, I don't care about the past, but I want to know, have you done marijuana was Justin a regular marijuana user or no?
No, just sometimes he would do it.
He told his mother that he had done coke from time to time. Do you know of your own knowledge? And listen, I can't charge somebody because you did coke with them 2 years ago, you
Right.
understand?
Yeah.
That's not a charge, okay?
Well, I do know about that, yes, I do.
Okay, has he ever done heroin in your presence, or to your knowledge, has he ever told you he did heroin
No.
before?
No,
Okay.
and I didn't even believe that because he was so against that, in doing that and all that stuff. So it was I knew about the coke, yes, and he smoked weed sometimes, but as far as heroin goes, no.
Okay. So let me walk you through this again. You know we've been investigating this for 6 months.
Right.
And you know we've talked to a ton of people, right?
Right.
And we've talked to a ton of your friends, and we talked to a ton of Justin's friends.
Mhm.
You know that, because they all text you and say, oh, the cops called me, okay? So, one of the rumors is, okay, and that's why we went and looked on the cameras, is that you guys went down to Amsterdam, and you got cocaine or heroin, but now we know it had to be heroin, because there was heroin in the system. The cause of death was the alcohol intoxication and a combination. If somebody uses heroin themselves and dies by themselves, they're not chargeable.
Right.
If you hold somebody down and give them an injection or force them to do something, then you might be charged with a manslaughter.
Right.
So what I'm telling you, I'm going to tell you again. If I told you, and I'm not talking about Mark, take Mark out of it. I'll tell you why I take Mark out of it. If Mark tells me something and you and him are broke up and he's pissed, I don't know if he's telling me because he's pissed at you or because something happened.
Right.
So let's just take Mark and put him aside. If I were to tell you that we had other people that claim that either when you were wasted or since then that you told them when you were upset what really happened, and that what really happened is that you guys stopped, and it wasn't your idea even, that you guys stopped and just everybody did 1 or 2 lines of heroin, snorted it, and
No.
you went home. That would be a lie.
Yeah.
Why would that be a lie?
I've never done that.
Never done heroin or never told anyone that?
I've never done that, and I've never said that to anybody.
Did you tell somebody that you guys left him and you thought, and the reason you kept calling is you thought that when you left him, he wasn't good?
Absolutely not, no. Like I said, I was calling, I went home,
Okay.
woke up the next day, like, fine, and I was just calling, texting, no answer, and I just blew it off, like, oh, he's sleeping, whatever. Like I said, when I started to get concerned was later on in the day, I was still getting no answer, and it was just, like, weird. And then I went to work, and I was still trying to call and stuff, and there's still no answer. And I was like, this is, like, this is weird. And then I was talking to Mark, and I was telling him, like, that, you know, something's weird. And so I called the house phone, because I'm like, someone will answer the house phone if he's not going to answer the cell phone. So I called the house phone twice, around 2 a.m. when I was at work, and nobody answered. And the house phone's right in the room where he sleeps. So I was like, all right, like, something's not right. And I told Mark, I said, why don't you just go over and, like, just go over there, like, just see if, like, everything's okay. And so he did go to the house, and he called me and said that he went there, but he got scared and didn't want to go inside. And I said...
So what time did he tell you this? Like, what time do you think he
It was
went out?
shortly after I
So this would have been, like,
I'm gonna
Thursday,
say-
you think, like, midnight?
This was, yeah, it was the early Thursday, yeah, because it was Wednesday into Thursday.
Okay.
So
So-
somewhere around 2 o'clock, 2 a.m.?
3, maybe 3, because I remember, like, I called the house phone when I wasn't getting an answer on the cell phone. So then I started to think, like, something's wrong. Because he wouldn't be out sleeping all day long and not wake up and plug the phone in or something.
Okay.
So I told Mark, I'm like, why don't you just go over there? Because he was, like, all worried. I was like, well, just go over there. I'm sure it's fine. But go over and just, because we would just go in the house, like, just go check. And so he called me back and said he went to the house, but he didn't go inside.
Called you or texted you?
He called me.
Okay.
And he said that he was afraid to go in the house. And I'm like, why? He's like, I don't know. I went inside and got a bad feeling. And I'm like, you need to go in and, like, make sure that everything's okay. And he said that he already left.
Okay.
So I said, well, forget it. And I was like, I'll just stop over there when I get out of work in the morning. And so when I got out of work, that's why I went over there, and that's what happened.
Okay. Now...
And I did not think anything was wrong, like, the whole day in that sense. I was just, like, feeling weird because he wasn't answering all day long.
Okay. I'm going to ask you again about first of all, you know that a guy from Amsterdam who deals drugs has been arrested, right?
No.
Okay. Well, do you know a guy, what's his nickname, Brian?
Unique.
Unique? Let me tell you what happens.
First name Curtis, maybe?
People get arrested,
Mm-hmm.
okay? In order to get out of their arrest, they start running their mouths,
Okay.
okay? So, if I were to tell you that, I don't like doing this because I don't like to throw people in the bag who tell us. If he were to say that he knows you, didn't know your name, your last name,
Mm-hmm.
and that you were somebody, if he gave a list of people that he sold to around here and you were on it, would that surprise you?
I do know of him because of somebody else, and one of my
Okay,
friends.
let me just cut the bullshit with you, okay?
Mhm.
We think you guys went to that house, wasn't your idea to get heroin. You all did 1 or 2 lines, not a lot, because there wasn't a ton in Justin's thing, and then you went home. That he wasn't feeling well
I did not
afterwards.
do anything.
Okay.
I don't.
Did anyone in the car do anything?
I've never done that, and
Are you telling the truth?
yes.
Did you,
And as far as Justin, I don't
in
know.
the car with you that night, did you see him do anything?
No,
Did you do anything?
no,
Okay.
Did Mark?
Did Mark?
not that I know of. No,
So what about,
because we were fine. Like, we dropped him off and went home and went to bed.
I thought you said somebody got sick. I thought you said he was thrown up in the back or something.
So we heard somebody was getting sick and threw up.
Justin, we
Or-
thought.
Yeah,
Originally.
we originally
No,
thought it was
it was
Justin
not
threw
sick.
up in the car.
No.
Okay.
Did anybody vomit that evening?
No.
Okay. All right. Is there anything in your statement that's not true that you gave us the other day, or that you gave us in September?
No, I mean, it's all, what happened?
So if the pathologist who does the autopsy says that the heroin had to be, hours old or days old, not 15 months old.
If he did it, then it
he
wasn't
ask you
in
to-
front of me, no.
Did he ask you to buy heroin for him that night?
No.
Okay. When you took your CNA courses, did they teach you anything about detecting whether somebody's telling you the truth or not? Every time I ask you a question, your eyes are going to the right, okay? In all the schools about people's thing, if you make something up, you look to the right. If you're trying to remember something that happened, you look to the left. It's just the way the brain works. And every question we've asked you that sounds anything like about the drugs or about something different, keep looking to your right, which means that you're being deceptive. So I'm just going to tell you that outright. So I'm going to go in and talk to him for a minute. I want you to think about whether you want to be honest. I'm telling you right now, if you guys did stop at a house and get heroin, you can't be charged with possessing it, because all I got is your word, and I don't have the heroin.
Mhm.
That's not what I'm looking for. I want to know what really happened, so we can tell his mother what really happened.
We're just looking for the truth.
This is a problem for you, because we think this is a false statement. We think we can prove it. It's only a misdemeanor. But I don't want it to affect your job. But we're trying to clear this up, so I'm going to go with him for a minute. Why don't you think about it, okay? And we'll be back.
What the fuck is going on? Oh, God. Okay. What the hell is going on? I think I need, well...
Look, we want honesty out of you, you know?
Mhm.
That's all we're asking for. All right, so do you want to tell us what really happened?
That is what happened, is my statement.
Okay, so you want to stand by that statement?
Yes.
Okay, so you understand that right now, there's only a misdemeanor.
I'm just like,
And I'm telling you, I'm taking Mark out of the picture.
right,
I'm saying to you.
and I get that.
Okay.
I don't know, like, what is going on, or what is being said, or rumors, or who's saying what, or what is going
I know
on.
people have called you, though.
Well, not really, like, I don't know what people are saying, or what's going on. So, yeah, like, I stick by my original statement, because I truthfully do not know what happened, if he did the drugs, if he didn't.
Okay, do you know if you stopped at the house?
No, because I was not there.
At the guy's house to buy heroin?
No. So, I don't know.
$10 worth of heroin for Justin. You don't eat that night?
No. So, I never dealt with this type of thing before.
Yeah.
So I think, like, I don't know if I, like, need to, like, have a lawyer or something, because I don't know, like, what is going on, but I'm not...
Okay. What is going on is, we want to find out what really happened,
Right.
because the pathology in the autopsy report shows us the presence of heroin.
Right.
We know that heroin was not injected. We know that you guys were in Amsterdam. We believe that you've dealt with this guy in Amsterdam before. We believe that Justin has done heroin before. We believe that there's such an insufficient amount in his system that, as the pathologist would tell us, it didn't take, let's say, I want to say this to you. It wasn't something that he had a ton of heroin like a week before.
Mm-hmm.
It was something that the pathologist said is there's an amount, a trace amount to show that he had heroin in his system. Okay? There's nothing that said fentanyl. Okay?
Okay.
Okay, because if there was fentanyl and we think all you did drugs, y'all would have had the same result, right?
Right.
Would you agree?
Yeah.
I mean, if it was all the same package.
Right.
So,
That makes sense.
yeah. So basically, we were just trying to get to the conclusion of this.
Mm-hmm.
Okay?
If y'all did it, it's not a big deal.
Well, now I don't know. I'm feeling nervous. Like I don't know. Like
Okay. What's your question for us about?
I don't really
you
have
understand?
I don't have a question.
Okay. Let me
It's more
explain
like,
this to you.
Okay.
Let me explain this. I have cases, and I can even show you one. Four guys were in a car, and they were sharing heroin. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
One guy dies. Okay. They didn't go to the hospital. They didn't do anything. They leave in his car. You're not a CNA. That's why I keep asking those CNA questions. That's why I keep asking those CNA questions. You're not a nurse. You're not a doctor.
Right.
As a CNA, you can wipe somebody's behind.
Right.
You know what I mean? You can do CPR, but you're not required to give needles. You're not required to do the defibrillator. Okay. So that means that if you were a nurse or a doctor, a higher level than a CNA, you'd have an obligation to do something if you thought he was sick.
Right.
By law,
well, that's the thing is that
by law, you don't have an obligation because you're a CNA. If you were in a nursing home, you'd have to
Right.
do something.
Right.
You're not working, okay?
Mhm.
If you're a nurse or a doctor, you're licensed and you're under the oath that you got to do something,
Mhm.
okay? So that part of it, like we weren't sure if he was dead. when you
That's
brought him
something
in the
that I'm
house.
concerned about right now. Is that
Okay.
a lot of the rumors, things like that, things that I've even heard, is that is what happened. We left it, we didn't do anything, this and that. That is not the case. That's
Okay, let me
not
ask you
what
this.
even
Let me ask you this.
heard.
Here's why we don't believe some of the rumors. Because if he was so drunk that he was passed out and he was
Right.
dead,
But I was
you
not.
got two. If he was dead, you got you and Mark aren't going to be able to carry him
in.
into the house.
He'd have scrapes on his legs, there'd be other evidence.
Yeah,
Okay.
and I didn't.
So-
Yeah.
So that one we don't believe. Okay. So let's just put it this way: we don't believe he was dead when you got him in the car to the house because we don't think you. That's why I asked you your weight.
Well,
I don't think you two
absolutely
could have
not.
carried him into the house.
No.
Okay. So we agree with you there. Okay.
Mhm.
But we do believe. Okay. And this is why, like I said, I'm setting Mark aside. But this is what I'll tell you: what we know from Mark. If I set what Mark tells us aside, we can corroborate it.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? So like we can, like the car on the video. If a car is on a video, and that shows us, it says, look, we were on Route 30, we went down Amsterdam, we drove up 30, or we drove up Golf Course Road, or wherever we drove, and then we have, Hannaford, or we have the state police cameras.
Mhm.
We could see, and that corroborates or verifies what he's telling us.
Right.
And okay, so I mean, I'll even show you the case, and you're smart, right?
Yeah.
Can you go get that? There's the one case that
Yeah.
says the guy's in the car. I want him to read it. So we
Just
know.
on the other thing, we're just looking for the truth. We're not.
I don't.
Just hear me out. We're not looking to jam anybody up, okay? But if we believe circumstances are different than from what you're telling us, we're gonna keep doing this. Spend more time. We're gonna get all that corroborating evidence.
That's the thing.
And then we would
I don't-
arrest you for lying.
Right.
We don't want to even do that. We just want the truth for Lori, and
Mhm.
so we can close our case out.
And we're going to read a case. I want you to read it, and then that way you'll have a different comfort level. You know what I'm saying? You'll have a comfort level that we're not here to screw you over. Okay? Are you concerned about your job? Is that what you're concerned about?
No, I'm concerned that I don't know. I don't know. What, okay.
So here, I want you to read it yourself so you know what I'm talking about. Here, let me show you where to start, because it's the same situation as you. When I say same situation, I mean similar. Okay. Okay, here, look. There are helicopters all over Mayfield this morning for some guy who was put in jail for pointing a gun at his girlfriend like 3 years ago. He got out and I guess he went off the deep end, so they sent everybody.
Okay.
Okay, so do you see that if the rumor was that he died and you dumped him, there wouldn't be any charges. Do you see that?
I do.
Okay, so that should ease your concern there. So,
yeah.
You see what it says? It says, you're driving around with 3 guys in a car, everyone does cook heroin.
And we don't even think you dumped him.
He was alive, because you couldn't carry, you physically couldn't carry him.
No.
Okay, so that's where we
And
are.
I understand,
What we're looking
but
at, we want to clear it up.
I don't. Like, I don't know, I feel like I should, like, talk with somebody, like, I don't know, like, what to do. Like,
Okay.
I mean,
Well, let me ask you this. If you got brothers and sisters,
Yeah.
how old's your brother?
I have 3 brothers.
Okay, pick one.
Yeah.
Pick a younger one. How old's your brother?
15.
Okay. Your brother goes out with his friends one night, plays football, they go out, they get drunk. Something happens.
Mhm.
He goes home, his friends drug him off, he's dead. Okay? They say, oh, he was just drinking like the rest of us. And the doctor says, no, there's some heroin in there. It couldn't have been more than a couple days old because it's sold a trace, and it wasn't enough itself to kill him. There's no fentanyl, because if there was fentanyl and more than one person did it, they all would have the same death, because fentanyl, you need a powder, a little bit. That's why you should stop using drugs, by the way. But, so now, your brother's friend says, oh, no, we didn't do anything. Well, the pathologist says you did. Wouldn't you want to know?
Absolutely.
And wouldn't you deserve to know if you're a
Absolutely.
friend of his? So, I'm telling you right now, even this, going to a house and getting drugs, that's not buying, that's, you know what I mean, that's not selling, you're a buyer. You don't read the paper, charged with buying drugs. It's always charged with selling them or possessing. We don't even have the drugs to charge you with possession. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
So I'm telling you that we're not interested in charging you for getting drugs. We just really want to know what happened, so we can say, Lori, this is really what happened. This is why there's heroin in the system, you know, and whether he's the one who wanted it, or whether you or Mark said, hey, let's try it, or whatever. We just want to say
Well, I
that's
certainly did not.
okay. But what I'm saying is, what I'm telling you is that is what we want to do, because what you told us isn't consistent with what
The facts we know.
other stuff that people have told us. And
Mhm.
so
Well,
you
that's
know,
the thing, like, I don't really know all of even what people are saying.
yeah, but
Well,
here's the thing, the
besides-
rumors and gossip, I don't care, but here's
Yeah.
what we did. We have everyone's cell phone records, okay? We have yours, we have Mark's,
Yeah,
we have everybody's cell phone records. So when you delete something, guess what?
I am aware of that.
It doesn't get deleted,
Right.
okay? So we got everybody's records, okay? And so we know all the conversations. We have conversations of, hey, delete those texts I sent you. Ones how funny it was that I was so screwed up, you know? We have texts from, you know, Taylor's texts. We've got Millington's texts. We got texts from everybody that we thought would have relevant evidence. And how we do that is we start with you guys and then go out by, okay, who did they call, who did they text, and then we get subpoenas for that stuff,
Right.
okay? So what I'm telling you, even when you hit delete, we know what
Well,
you
I
said,
know
okay?
that.
So now I don't wanna play games, that's why I'm saying, what you're telling us isn't adding up to what, and I'm not talking about the rumors, I'm talking about stuff doesn't add up, like a text saying, delete what I told you, forget I told you that. Well, why would you want somebody to forget what you told them if it was as simple as being drinking? You know what I mean? So, and that's when we interview you, we don't say, here's our whole folder, look at our whole folder. Because we want you to be honest, because if I put the words in your mouth,
Right.
it's not true.
You know, the thing is too, you say he was pretty well drunk, you had to assist him into the house, he's in no condition to drive or go anywhere.
Mhm.
He's at home, grandma verifies he's been home all the time.
Right.
Where did the heroin come from? You guys were the last ones with him.
Right.
So it came pretty much from
But I
that
don't
type.
know, like, I don't know. I don't know what,
Zach, it's a simple thing.
I
Did
understand.
you, I don't care that you might have done heroin that night. I want to know if you were with him when he did it, and if you got it in Amsterdam, like we believe from the rest of our case. I want to close this out. The only charge that you face right now is falsely filing a statement. Now, if you tell us what happened, then we're going to say, well, that's all we want to know. You know what I'm saying? If we put everything else together and we can prove, which we think we can, that the line in there about no drugs is false, then we're going to charge you. If you get charged, you could lose your job, which you can't afford to do. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
You know, and part of my thing is, when we've been doing this, your name keeps coming up as somebody who uses drugs on a regular basis. You are, I'm just telling you. I'm just telling you.
From
if you
other
are,
people we've
from our,
spoken to.
so if you are, it's, you know, you're gonna end up sick, dead, or arrested.
Right.
You know what I mean? And it's not worth it, you know, for your own good. That's, you know, that's fatherly advice,
Mhm.
or grandfatherly, because I'm old enough to be a grandfather. That's fatherly advice. But look that over. Listen, if we wanted to arrest you, we could have just come up and arrested you. But it's more important to us to find out what really happened. I can't charge you for being with somebody who dies because they used drugs. He didn't die just because of heroin. He died primarily because of the alcohol, but the heroin was in the system, you know? And if it was fentanyl, and this is why we're concerned, if it was fentanyl and he used it alone for the 10th time, then that might have been his death. But if you guys used it with him, then that tells us that there wasn't fentanyl, because when there's the frickin', I don't even, like a sand, not even, you know, doesn't take anything to kill you.
Right.
Do you want to think about it a few more minutes?
I don't know. I think like, I don't know about any of this stuff.
Okay.
Like, I don't know. It's like, I don't know.
Well, look, here's the
What-
question.
like,
It's
I
honest,
feel like-
you want to be honest, and you want to be honest with yourself and us, and help the mother know. You said it yourself. If your 15-year-old
But it's
brother
like,
died,
I don't know.
listen to me. Look, you just said it yourself. If your 15-year-old brother died and there's drugs in the system,
Right,
and his friends died,
absolutely.
you would want his friends, Say, look, you're his friend. You just told us. You text every day. You're friends. You've been friends for years. You hung out together. You went to his shows. You drive around endlessly talking about life, right?
Mhm.
Talking about people you like or whatever. And so I guess the point there is, why not do what you would want for your family?
Right.
That's all I'm saying to you. And let me tell you something. If you tell us that, we're not going to arrest you today. We're going to look at that. We're going to look at this and say, okay, is it more important that he told us the truth? Is it more important that he lied, or that he told us the truth and cleared it up? I'm being honest with you. All right? So I don't know what to tell you either. I mean, I just say, look, think if you were his mother or his family, would you want his friend, Zach, who knows what happened, to say what happened? So Mom knows?
Well, yeah.
Okay. I mean, if you want to ask me about the charges, I already told you. You saw that. We can't charge you because somebody...
Well, I don't...
That's what I said. If you want to
I
ask me
mean,
a question...
I don't know what... I don't know what to think. Like, I don't know. I don't know
Okay.
what... Like, I don't know.
All right.
Like, I'm uncomfortable.
Okay.
Like, I would rather, like, speak with somebody and, like...
Okay.
Like, I don't know.
Okay.
Like, I don't...
Where were you going to visit Chauncey today? Where's he at?
Casac.
When's he get out?
I don't know.
Okay. All right.
Just in regards to what we've spoken about today, would you be willing to give me a statement on that?
I read the statement.
You didn't have any knowledge of him doing the drugs again and all that good stuff?
I mean...
Or would you rather think about it and call us tomorrow?
Yeah. I'd rather not. Cause, like, I don't know.
Okay, do me a favor. Why don't you think about it overnight? Give us a call tomorrow. You got Brian's
You got my number, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So think about it overnight. This is what we're telling you. Listen to me again. We think we have a good enough case to charge you with false statement under there, okay?
Mm-hmm.
We need probable cause to believe that somebody gave us a false statement and that somebody was you. Well, that's the two requirements, and that you knew when you gave it was false. This is what we're concerned with, not the false statement. We want to be able to say, Lori, they did stop the guy heroin. Nobody forced it on Justin. That's why it's in the system. The heroin didn't kill him, from according to the autopsy. It was a contributing factor or part of it, but he was a .24 alcohol. And that's when, so he could have been much higher before he died, or when he died, okay? So, all right, and so it doesn't affect your CNA, and being a CNA doesn't mean you got to do something different with them.
Right.
And you can call the state and find out yourself. But you know, if you're working, your requirement is something. If you're not working, it's something else.
Mm-hmm.
You're
You're
not
just a normal citizen
yeah.
like everybody else.
You're not a mandated reporter as a CNA, which means you're not required. So do you want to take that with you, read again, and just call up Brian tomorrow and let us know what you want to do? Why don't we do that?
Sure.
That gives you time to think about it.
Yes.
All right?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Do you have any other questions of us?
No.
Okay, so we'll say it terminated at 9:16, and that you agree to think about it and come back and talk to us. Okay?
Okay.
And you got to work tomorrow? Are you off tonight?
I'm off tonight.
Okay.
I just worked 16-hour shift. Like,
Oh,
I just
so-
got out of work a little while ago.
So that's why you're tired and cranky and don't want to straighten this all out in one day.
Mhm.
All right. All right. All right, thank you very much.
Thank you.
And you know what? Do tell Chauncey, because of my job, I can't frickin'. I will. And he used to work. I do. All right, so, you want to take it from here?